So this video is not for people who are actually doing well in the corporate world. And when I mean corporate, I mean person who works in a company or an enterprise or whatever the case may be. So this video is for people who have suffered, some sort of abuse in the workplace, because like I woke up today and I was not really feeling well. So I just said to myself, I'm going to make this video for my people who are actually being troubled in the working environment. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know that, guys, I love you and I love you primarily. So today I'm speaking to you guys about the fact that I'm actually starting to hate corporate. I know that corporate has been painted as, this type of working environment or working in a company that is like good, but let me tell you, there are things that are happening there, and this video is for people who are currently there at the moment, and this video is for people who are in college and university who are thinking just because they are obtaining a qualification or a degree or whatever it is, and they think that maybe a company is waiting for them to give them, respect them for their qualification or actually pay them the money that is due to them. It may not happen like that. So what happens, guys, is the fact that, listen to me, there are things happening there. For example, there is verbal abuse. There is verbal abuse in the workplace. For example, just because a person is a manager, they suddenly think they can speak to you in any way that they want. They can speak to you as if you are beneath humanization. I'm telling you, this is happening. And most of the time, when we talk about these things, people mostly say, oh, these are the things that are happening in the workplace, and you just have to go with the flow with it. The problem with that is some people can actually deal with it, but for some people, guys, the minute you say a hurtful word to them, some people cannot take it. So there is verbal abuse in the workplace, and I don't want to go deep into this one, guys. Discrimination is real. Sorry, there's just something. Yeah, so discrimination is real. It literally happens. I'm telling you the truth. Discrimination is real in the workplace. I'm so glad if you have not experienced it, but I'm telling people who are currently thinking that by obtaining a qualification, magic is going to happen. Guys, you're going to work in a company and have a degree, and you suddenly think they're going to pay you, and you're going to have a manager so cold-hearted, they're going to say, we'll pay you 8,000 rand each and every month. What are you going to do? Guys, there is an instance in the workplace where you are underpaid, whether you have a qualification or you don't have a qualification, because the problem is when you're in college or university, you're not told these things, you're not being prepared for it. So that is why when people don't get jobs or they are underpaid, we can still sit on a job even if it abuses us, because why? We have been so fashioned or trained to stay in a job. So another thing also, guys, that happens in the workplace, can you believe some companies have they even have the nerve to actually offer you a promotion and actually not paying you for it? Who does that? Like, who does that? Imagine, is that even a promotion? Like, are you promoting somebody, but then you're not increasing their money? I mean, what are we here for? Because at the end of the day, I want my life to change. I want my life to increase. So how in the world are you saying, oh, it's a promotion, but then the money is not increasing, but you're increasing my duties? Like, I'm telling you guys, these are the things that are happening, and I want people to go to the corporate world with an open mind. Now, it's not the same for everyone. Like I mentioned when I started the video, some people, guys, God was on their side. I'm not saying that God is not on the side of people who are actually struggling, but these things happen so that we must not rely on actually being employed. Why? Because our parents have, accustomed us to actually saying, you know what, go to university, get a good paying job. But what if that does not happen? What if that does not happen? Please forgive my voice. It's just that when I'm passionate about something, it seems as if I'm aggressive, but I'm just trying to make my point across. So what then happens if I then go to college and get that qualification, but then I don't get a job or I'm underpaid? Am I going to be in the same job for 5 years for a job that pays me, for example, pays me 5,000 rand, and yet I have a qualification? I keep on applying, but it's been years now. So these are the things that you need to look out for when you go into the working environment. Guys, another thing is that, can you believe that in some companies, if you don't have a child, for example, they would ask you, do you have a child? And maybe you would say, because innocently, if you don't have a child, you don't have a child. You're not going to lie that, oh, I have a child, if you don't have. Some companies, when you don't have a child, they actually decrease the money that they were going to pay you, because they feel like you don't have responsibilities. They feel like you don't have money, especially, guys, for Black people. Now, this is not a race thing, but I have to take it there for just a minute, because most people think that just because we are Black people, we don't need money. Do you understand? Just because we're not paying off bonds, just because we don't have a mortgage payment, like as if we don't need money, like we don't know what we're going to do with money. But that is not true. The problem, it's not even a problem. Our parents have actually trained us to say, you know what? When you get money, you need to build a house for yourself, have it all paid in full. So is that the problem? So is that what we're suffering for? Because our parents actually taught us that renting is wrong. So it happens in the workplace that somehow they think just because you're black, you don't really need. And listen, I've even heard this one: we don't pay for water, we don't pay for lights, we don't, I've even had that one. So guys, this video is to wake you up, because I wish when I was in college or university that there were people making videos like this to actually tell us the reality of what is happening out there, that it's not all black and white, not everything that glitters is gold, because we are thinking that a company is going to come and rescue us. Well, if that happens, we praise God. But then what happens if it doesn't? So guys, it's very, very important that whether you are in that job, whether you're in college or university, you better start doing something that will eventually generate an income for you. And you know that the world is going digital, so there's no other way to do it. Now you have a cute phone, you have a cute iPhone, and you're just taking pics, and you just want to make it, and but you can actually use that phone to do something with your time. You can actually start and learn as to how, for example, to do YouTube, how you can actually have an Instagram account that will potentially, earn an income for you. And you can start this while you are in college. While you're still focusing on your studies, you can start this, because I wish there was somebody who had told me to start this earlier. I would have started my YouTube channel a long time ago, but I was not really exposed to all of these things. So rather than going and, scrolling on TikTok, liking other people's things, why don't you start your own? What is that one thing that you are good at? Maybe you are good at, communicating. You can teach people how to communicate confidently. You can teach people, for example, some people have beautiful skin. You can share with people, how you take care of your body. Some people have beautiful hair. Some people can actually share, for example, even the course in which they are doing, for example, how you can study effectively and all of those things. So these are things that you can share so that you can build your online presence, because maybe it's only for me. I don't want to be working for a company for a long time, because I've seen it. I've seen the dark places. I've seen people who are utterly rude, where sometimes your manager actually uses the F word on you. Let me tell you guys, it's real. It is real. So you better wake up right now and start doing things that are going to generate an income for you in the future. Start now. There is no other time. There is no other better time for you to start now. So this is not to attack anyone, or this is not to look down on anyone, but this is to actually awaken your mind to say, you know what? No one is coming to save you. If you think that maybe, that company is obligated to pay you 100,000 rand just because you started, you are lying to yourself. Now, why don't you get started ahead of time, so that eventually when that does not happen, you have something to fall back on? That's all I'm saying. That even when you eventually decide to quit your job, for example, if you are working, that if eventually you want to quit your job, that at least you have something that you are doing as well. So yeah, guys, this is to just broaden your mind and change your way of thinking, to say, you know what, and also there are no jobs. That's the reality of it. Can you believe, guys, that in some companies, when you speak to your manager and actually ask for an increase, because guys, we can see the inflation rate. Who lives, guys, a normal life with, for example, I'm making an example, who lives a normal life being paid 6,000 rand, being paid 7,000 rand, being paid 8,000? Who lives like that? And the problem is that we as black people are known that, we can manage, but other people cannot manage. Remember, it's not a race thing, but it happens to us mostly. So this is to awaken your mind to say, wake up, black child, wake up and do something with your time. And do something with your time. Do something with your phone. Learn. There are free courses online that you can actually learn to gather up your skills so that you can do something. There's nothing wrong with being your own boss. There's nothing wrong with starting something small. There's nothing wrong with selling. There's nothing wrong with selling. Because this thing of being programmed and always wanting to be employed is not going to work, especially in this era that we are entering. So yeah, I hope that this video was informative, and that it sparkles something in your mind to actually tell you that you need to wake up. You need to wake up. So yeah, guys, please do like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know that, guys, I love you, and I love you permanently, and I will see you guys again on my next video. Have a good one. Bye for now.